You support Hamas, do you not?
Senator, oddly enough, I'm going to say thank you for that question because it demonstrates the purpose of our hearing today in a very effective way.
Let's start first with a yes or no. You support Hezbollah too, don't you?
Again, I find this line of questioning extraordinarily disappointing,
Is that a
Senator.
no?
You just saw what I saw, right? That right there is what happens when someone has the guts to ask a direct question in Washington, D.C. It's a clash between good old-fashioned common sense and the kind of political double talk that drives everyday Americans absolutely crazy. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into this clip from a Senate Judiciary Committee hearing that is just setting the internet on fire. The man in the driver's seat is Senator John Kennedy, and in my opinion he is doing what we sent him there to do: cut through the nonsense and get to the truth. What we just witnessed was an absolute masterclass in evasion from the witness, Miss Maya Berry. Senator Kennedy asks a series of simple, direct yes or no questions, and what does he get in return? Deflection, accusations, and a whole lot of word salad. This isn't just a random gotcha moment. This goes to the very heart of a critically important issue our country is facing. We are going to watch the full clip from the very beginning, and I'm going to break down why Senator Kennedy's frustration is not only justified, but is a frustration that millions of us feel every single day. Stick around, because this is important. And hey, while you're here, if you believe in holding our leaders accountable and you appreciate this kind of breakdown, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss a thing. Let's get into it.
Do you think this condoned behavior at these universities, this condoned belief at these universities, and let me state it again, they believe in diversity, equity, inclusion, and the right to harass Jews. It's what they believe. What you do is what you believe. Everything else is just cottage cheese. Do you think that is consistent with their mission as universities?
Absolutely not.
Okay. So above and beyond the question of money, it is the morality, the purpose of higher education in America, is it not?
That is correct.
Ms. Berry, you are the executive director of the Arab American Institute, is that correct?
Correct, sir.
Okay. And according to your website, you're also, I'm going to quote here, a longtime Democratic Party activist who served as a member of the 2016 Democratic National Convention's Platform Standing Committee, close quote. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. You support Hamas, do you not?
Senator, oddly enough, I'm going to say thank you for that question because it demonstrates the purpose of our hearing today in a very effective way.
Let's start first with a yes or no.
Hamas is a foreign terrorist organization that I do not support, but you asking the executive director of the Arab American Institute that question very much puts the focus on the issue of hate in our country.
Well, I got your answer, and I appreciate it. What is the, you support Hezbollah too, don't you?
Again, I find this line of questioning extraordinarily disappointing,
Is that a
Senator.
no?
That
Or
you have Arab American constituents that you represent in your great state.
Yes, ma'am, I understand that, but my time's limited, and I apologize, but is that a yes or a no?
A yes or no question to do I support Hezbollah? The answer is I don't support violence, whether it's Hezbollah, Hamas, or any other entity that invokes it.
You can't bring yourself to say no, can you?
No, I can say no. I can say yes.
But
what I can say is your line of questioning.
Do you support or oppose Iran and their hatred of Jews?
Again, I'm going to emphasize Iran, Hezbollah, Hamas, none of them is going to, this discussion.
You can't bring yourself to say no, can
Sir,
you?
I don't support.
It's real simple.
Excuse me, I'm going to, if I may, as a Muslim woman, sir, I'm going to tell you I do not support Iran. But what I will tell you is that this conversation.
I'm running out of time. I'm sorry. You called our decision to cut funding. You called our decision to cut fund. Well, first, what's the United Nations Relief and Works Agency?
It's UNRWA, which is
Yeah.
the institution that exists to provide services and aid to the nearly 6 million Palestinian refugees.
And you called our decision to cut funding for them, quote, an incredible moral failure, close quote.
That is absolutely correct. But again, I would suggest that conversation
And
is about foreign
we
policy.
did that because 9 UNRWA staff members were fired for actually helping Hamas on October 7th. Isn't that the case?
I don't believe that that's correct in terms
Let
of...
me ask you one more time. You support Hamas, don't you? You
Sir.
support UNRWA and Hamas, don't you?
Sir,
Please.
I think it's exceptionally disappointing that you're looking at an Arab American witness before you and saying you support Hamas.
You know what's disappointing to me?
I do not
You
support
can't
Hamas.
Bring yourself
I do
to
not
say
support Hamas
You don't
or
support UNRWA. You don't support Hamas. You don't.
was very
support
clear in my support for UNRWA.
Hezbollah, and you don't
I
support
oppose-
Iran. You should hide your head in a bag.
This is a Senate Judiciary Committee hearing on combating hate crimes. That's the topic. It's an important one, and it's something we should all be concerned about. So, Kennedy starts by questioning the rabbi. Notice how he's laying a foundation here. He's asking about the situation on college campuses, Harvard, Berkeley, UCLA. He's establishing that there's a real documented problem with anti-Semitism, with the harassment of Jewish students. And he's pointing out very logically that these universities are receiving federal money while this is happening. He's not just pulling this out of thin air. He's establishing a clear and logical premise, and this is important for what comes next. Okay, here we go. He now turns to Miss Maya Berry, the executive director of the Arab American Institute. He's read her bio. He knows she's a longtime Democratic Party activist. This isn't a random citizen. She's a political operator and the head of a very influential organization. She's there as an expert witness. That means she should be prepared for tough questions. And here it is. The first question, you support Hamas, do you not? Now, a lot of people in the media are going to say, oh, what a shocking, unfair question. Is it, though? Is it really? Let's think about this. Hamas is a designated foreign terrorist organization. It's not a debatable point. It's a fact. The question is a direct, simple, yes or no question for the leader of a major advocacy group. The American people and that committee have a right to know where she and her organization stand. And what's her answer? Does she say, of course not, Senator, that's a disgusting accusation? No. She says, Senator, I'm going to say thank you for that question because it demonstrates the purpose of our hearing today. Hold on, time out. That is a textbook political pivot. Instead of answering the question, she tries to use the question itself as proof of her point. It's a deflection. He asked for her position, and she gave him a lecture. This is where you can see the frustration start to build. It's a legitimate question, and she's treating it like it's out of bounds. He presses her again, and she gives a long-winded answer that includes the words, I do not support, but it's buried in so much other stuff that it loses all its power. And then Kennedy moves on to Hezbollah, another designated terrorist group, and look at her reaction. I find this line of questioning extraordinarily disappointing. Disappointing? What's disappointing is that it's like pulling teeth to get a straight answer. Why is it so hard to just say, no, I do not support terrorist organizations? Any normal person would be falling over themselves to make that clear. The hesitation, the deflection, that's what's telling. That's what Senator Kennedy is picking up on. He's not being a bully. He's being a lie detector. And the Iran question is the same thing. He's asking if she supports or opposes Iran and its hatred of Jews. And again, she can't just give a straight answer. She starts talking about her identity as a Muslim woman. What does that have to do with whether or not you support the regime in Iran? Nothing. It's another pivot, another attempt to make herself the victim. This is what's so maddening to watch. She is the one being evasive, but she and the people in that room are acting like he is the one doing something wrong by asking. Okay, let's get to the moment that's got everyone talking. You should hide your head in a bag. Look, was it a nice thing to say? No. But politics isn't always nice. Can you feel the pure, unfiltered frustration in his voice? He represents millions of Americans who are sick and tired of this. They are tired of watching people refuse to condemn evil. They are tired of the word games. I think in that moment he wasn't just speaking for himself. He was channeling the frustration of so many of us who just want clarity and moral courage from our leaders. He reached a boiling point, and honestly, can you blame him? And then, to top it all off, Senator Durbin steps in and gives her the floor to talk about how her feelings were hurt and how she's a victim of hate. It is absolutely unbelievable. The person who couldn't bring herself to clearly and simply condemn terrorist organizations is treated as the victim, while the senator demanding accountability is painted as the villain. This entire exchange is a perfect snapshot of what's wrong with our political discourse. Senator John Kennedy showed courage. He asked uncomfortable but necessary questions. He refused to be played. And for that he's being attacked. But I think he showed us exactly what a real representative of the people should be doing. Fighting for the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it gets.